Hello, Lower Dauphin families and staff. This is Rob Schultz, Superintendent of Schools, and I'm here to give you an update on our virtual schedule that we will use this year if we would need to close school based on weather conditions. One of the things that I want to share with you is that school districts in Pennsylvania are required to have 180 days of instruction, 900 hours of instruction at the elementary level, and 990 hours of instruction at the secondary level. And 2 years ago, the Pennsylvania Department of Education, PDE, this is prior to COVID, provided districts with the opportunity to meet 5 of the required days using what's called flexible instructional days, or FIDS. And flexible instructional days, as per PDE's approval, are days when students work independently on asynchronous instructional activities with assignments posted in an online learning platform like our Canvas. Live Zoom lessons are not part of the approved FID application. And again, we submitted an application 2 years ago to be able to use 5 FID days prior to COVID. So this was pre all the online instruction we've been providing all last year and up to this point this year for a few of the classrooms that we did need to close for short periods of time due to COVID cases. Again, so this is very different type of instruction. And if you remember, I sent out a survey last spring saying, if we have snow days, which way do the families want to go? Do you want us to have traditional snow days that we make up in the spring? And usually that eats into the Easter vacation. Or do you want to have online days with flexible instructional days? And the majority of the responses in the survey were that they wanted to use the flexible instructional days rather than making the days up in the spring. And then in the beginning of the school year in 2020, the Department of Education came out with another application, and this application is called the Emergency Instructional Time Template. And they did that in the fall of 2020 so that districts that needed to close, like we did a year ago, we closed buildings quite frequently due to COVID, could provide instruction virtually to meet the needs of the students and also to meet the requirement of the 180 days. So there's 2 different things in play here. One is the flexible instructional day template, and then the emergency instructional time template. We did not believe they were going to do the emergency instructional time template again for the 2021-22 school year, but in August they did. They provided districts again with that flexibility to use virtual instruction instead of flexible instructional days. And we as a district applied for the emergency instructional time template and were approved. So again, last spring, it was clear that the families wanted us to keep school going instead of making up days. But now, to avoid confusion between our flexible instructional days that I talked to you about last spring and our virtual instructional days, which is what we provide when we are closed due to COVID, I want to make it clear that we are going to do virtual instructional days if the district would need to shut down due to weather conditions. And we're going to do that this year because we have the emergency instructional time template approval. Now, our virtual instructional day schedules, I'm going to go over a couple of sample schedules with you here. You'll see that it's a combination of synchronous live Zoom lessons and asynchronous independent work time for students. And it looks very different at the elementary level than it does at the secondary level. So let's look at the elementary schedule first. All work will be posted in Canvas, and work should be completed at your child's own pace. Zoom opportunities will be available for the elementary students on our virtual learning days. There's going to be some check-ins. There'll be a check-in in the morning, a check-in in the afternoon, and also office hours will occur via Zoom with their teachers for math in the morning and reading in the afternoon. And I'll show you another slide with a little bit more detail here in a second. But office hours are going to be optional for students. And you know, if your child's doing well and understands the assignment that was given in the morning or given in the afternoon check-in, and they're able to complete that, there's no need for them to attend the office hours as scheduled, unless a teacher communicates with you as a parent and with the student that it would be in their best interest to come to those office hours. So there will be occasions where a teacher may say to a family, you know, your child, I know this is optional, but it's really be important for your child to be there so that I can provide that live Zoom instruction for the concepts that we're going to go over today. Again, here's the elementary sample schedule. The day will start at 9 a.m. You'll have the Canvas check-in and morning assignment. At 9:20, there'll be a little 5-minute break there. You'll have to check your child's cycle day schedule to see what specials they have. If it's art, music, phys ed, they would work on that from 9:20 to 10:05. And 10:15, another little break in between there to transition. They're going to have their morning check-in with their teacher to see how they're doing and get additional assignments. At 10:45 to 11:45 will be those office hours that I talked about, and that would be the math office hours. So during that time, again, students who have questions or want some guidance will check in with their teacher there and work during those office hours, and there may be some invitations sent out to individual students to say, yeah, I need you here for these office hours in the morning for math. Lunch and recess from 12 to 1, the kids can grab something to eat, go out, spend a little bit of time outside. And then from 1 to 1:30, again, a virtual Zoom check-in with their teachers for their afternoon assignments. And then the office hours from reading would be from 2:30 to 3:30. Again, optional unless the student is invited. Middle school and high school schedule, very different. The day will begin at 8 a.m. Each period of the day will meet via Zoom for 15 minutes. So the students will follow their schedule for that cycle day, and they'll have a 15-minute live session with each one of their teachers. We'll build in a 5-minute break between classes to allow transition of students in and out of the Zoom sessions for the teachers and make sure the students are able to get to the class so that they're hearing everything right from the beginning. The last period of the day will end at 11:05. So as you can see, the secondary day is the live part of the day is from 8 o'clock to 11:05. And then the students have between 11:05 to 1 p.m. to work independently on the assignments that their teachers gave them in the morning. And the teachers will provide office hours for our secondary students, the middle school and high school students, from 1 p.m. to 2:30. So as they're working independently from 11:05 to 1 p.m., they'll be able to check back in at 1 if they have questions on any of the assignments that were given in the morning. So here you can see this is a sample schedule, and we'll have these posted on the website and in Canvas, but 8 o'clock to 8:15, and then 8:20 to 8:35. And as you can see, that will we build in a break from 9:15 to 9:45 for the students and for the teachers, and their day will end at 11:05. They can work independently either in the afternoon or that evening. And then their office hours for the teachers are going to be available from 1 to 2:30. So again, I just wanted to clarify to make sure everybody was aware because of the survey we put out last spring about the flexible instructional days. And again, those are very different according to the Department of Education than what they're allowing us to do this year with the emergency instructional time template. So we're going to take advantage of that and have some Zoom synchronous live lessons combined with some independent asynchronous work and give the kids some flexibility throughout the day and in the afternoon for our secondary kids. So if you have questions, reach out to me or reach out to your building principal. And again, hopefully we can stay open and we don't have a bad winter, but I'd rather be prepared and have you understand what we're doing and why we're doing it that way prior to any days we might have to close due to weather. Okay, thank you and take care.